In fact, when Bola Tinubu called us to support him, he promised to make food cheap. You know, at that time we were being insulted. We are Agbadorians. We are this, we are that. You know. So we told him, we said, let us just produce food. And that's what he promised us. Only for him to come to power and then, in fact, only God understands what he's doing. That's his headache. I'm not leaving my party for anybody. Not at all. But I'm certainly not supporting him for 2027. And I'm going to make sure, going to gather with, it's not even PDP people. PDP is just a ridiculous party. They are not serious. It is us in APC who are dissatisfied with him, who put him in power. We are the ones that will remove him from the power.
Barrister Nabasa is a public affairs analyst from Delta State. He's expressing his frustration against Tinubu's leadership skills. Tinubu is only interested in power, not leadership. Many Nigerians warned in 2022, but because of politics of tribalism, politics of patronage and everything, yes, politics is tribal. They don't care who is there. What they want is to promote their own party to power. They don't look at the competence of that person. Once the party decides that this person is their candidate, every member of the party automatically supports that person. That's how politics works, not just in Nigeria, most places. But this is the spirit. The same spirit Nigerians used to work together in 2023. Members of PDP, members of APC, especially in the South, they worked against their respective parties. 2027 won't be different. People will work across party lines to make sure they deliver a capable candidate who will use the resources of this country to make Nigeria great. A lot of people, especially the ones in power today, they feel that when you criticize the country or criticize the leadership, that you are not a patriot. But they don't know that it is patriotism that is making people to criticize their own country. If you don't give a damn about goings on in your country, why would you criticize it in the first place? Yes, it's because of that love. You want your country to be a better place. That's why people keep pointing out the errors, pointing out the leadership failures so that they can improve and make Nigeria work for everyone, make Nigeria a better place to live. All these accidental patriots who can't distinguish between loyalty to individual and loyalty to a country. There are two different things. Many of these guys are after what they can eat. Yes, what they can get from the system. That's why they resort to sycophancy, praise-singing people they are supposed to hold to account. Genuine patriots in APC should be asking why Nigeria is not progressing, despite the fact that they have progressives in their middle name. But the country is not progressing under their leadership the past 10 years. Yes, that's the reality. Forget about narratives. They want to convince Nigerians that they should wait for some time before all these failed policies should start to materialize. But even the IMF, the World Bank, all the foreign financial institutions that advise them to implement all these overtaxing, failed policies, of late they have started disagreeing with them. Like the recent World Bank bombshell release that more people will still be in poverty in Nigeria by 2027. So if people let them continue supporting people that impoverish them, they won't say they didn't know in 2025 that by 2027 more people will become poor in Nigeria. Maybe they will be part of the people that will become poorer by 2027. And maybe by that 2027, they will now say, let's give him 4 years. Let him continue what he started. Started what? If someone started by destroying nearly everything that affects your life, you say he should continue doing the same thing? How does that make any sense? Yes, this is the new narrative in town. As the day goes by, they keep inventing new ones. They've been spreading this narrative around town that he should complete what he started. How does it make any sense for anyone? There is nothing he started. He started by impoverishing Nigerians. How can he complete it when already financial institutions are predicting that Nigeria's GDP cannot even cross $250 billion by 2 years? Despite the fact that he met it at over $300 billion, he has practically halved it under 2 years. So all the metrics are there for people to see, But because of the fact that politics is tribal, people will continue doing things they will live to regret, like many in APC are regretting today, especially in the North. Exactly what the barrister said is what many in the North are saying. Many of them don't want to decamp from APC. They don't want to join El-Rufai or join Atiku Abubakar. They want to stay inside their parties and work against their own party. Yes, this is the plan of many in the North. Also, many in the North are so loud about not voting Tinubu in 2027, even to the point of arrogance. They don't even need to do this, saying things like no one can become the president without the votes from the North. It is counterproductive. In fact, it repels people from the South. Already, most Southerners have a prejudice against the North, that they are power grabbers. They've spent more time in power, yet their people are the most impoverished, their region is the most underdeveloped, and they continue seeking that power. What are they going to do with it? Buhari is a recent example. He spent 8 years in office, a retired army general. He couldn't solve insecurity even in his home state. It's pardonable that he failed on the economy, but what about security? How can a retired army general fail in security? These are the issues. So when they shout, no one can become president without the North, they are actually gaslighting people. Yes, many Southerners see it as if they are gaslighting them. Look at these people, they want to grab power. So indirectly, they are working against themselves, pushing people to the other side. Because many will now say, instead of these power grabbers to take back power that they use for nothing, Nigerians never benefit from their leadership. Let us give it to this man, a man that is already destroying lives and impoverishing people. So you can understand how far people are willing to go. They rather cut off their nose and spite their face instead of working with Northerners. Despite the fact that they share a common enemy, they rather work with that enemy instead of working with Northerners. That is how bad it is. So they should humble themselves. Do that politicking. Don't feel that, you hold all the aces, you hold the key to Aso Rock, that if you don't vote for anyone, that person can never make it. No. The 2023 presidential election already proved that wrong, especially when more than 2 persons are in the contest. And going by the way they are talking and to a level bragging about it, maybe in 2027, more than 2 persons will still be in the contest, because they are not taking this coalition very seriously. They are not humbling themselves, climbing down from their high horses to negotiate on the table. They are still not seeing all Nigerians as equal. Yes, that's the problem. They should come down from their high horses and negotiate on an equal basis so that they can choose the right candidate and back that person on time. Yes, share all the positions on time, because it's always the problem of politicians. They're always talking about what can I get, what will I be, am I going to be this minister, am I that, am I this. It's always about them. That's why there is this problem in the first place. So they should sort all these out on time, so that Nigerians will know their stand. All this talk, they are pushing people to the other side when they are supposed to be attracting people to the opposition, so that everyone will rally around and form a formidable force to face APC in 2027. Also, they should be aware of their rigging plans. The handwriting is on the wall that they can never win a fair contest. They are already looking for holes to rig the election. INEC is planning on allowing people to vote in the election with only slips that can be printed from their website instead of PVC that is allowed by law. Their plan is to amend the electoral law so as to allow people to print slips from INEC's website, and they will be eligible to vote on election day. The reason INEC gave for this was the fact that they might not be able to print all the required PVCs before the election. So it's a logistics problem. Instead of them to start right now to improve their capacity, if it's a matter of buying more printers or equipment to be able to meet the demand, to print all the PVCs so that everyone that is up to age can vote on that day. Instead of doing all this, they want to push their inefficiency to Nigerians. This will lead to serious fraud. And this might take us back to the years when we used to have millions of votes to presidential candidates in elections. Prior to 2023, all the KKK states, like they are called, they used to churn out millions of votes. But because of beavers and the removal of incident forms, all these states didn't move millions of votes that they used to brag about. So you can see they want to take us back to the Maurice Iwu era. Up till today, there was no tabulation of the results, no state-by-state scores of the results. Never. It was never released. They just declared Yar'Adua as the winner. Of course, because he was a humble man, he accepted that the election that brought him to power was seriously flawed. So Nigerians must resist this latest rigging method by INEC. Of course, the APC-dominated National Assembly will jump at approving and amending this law because they know it will guarantee they will rig and win the election and continue their stay in power. Thanks for watching.